This afternoon, offenders of sanitation bylaws to face at least 6 months jail time as government launches Operation Clean Your Frontage in a renewed push to make Accra the cleanest in Africa. We're live at the Independence Square, where the president is inaugurating a task force to enforce the bylaw. This afternoon, you could be facing... Oh, Manuel Cranting is joining us with more. Manuel, what can you report?
Well, so, Mama V, the law actually targets three categories of people. First of all, owners of residential facilities, also owners of industrial and commercial properties, and then finally owners of private or public offices. These people are expected to be in charge of cleaning the immediate land space in front of their structures. Indeed, they are also expected to procure, bins that they're using to collect the refuse for accredited waste collectors by the city authority to come through and collect them.
Okay, Manuel, you have to speak up a bit. It's been a bit difficult hearing you, but who are the targets essentially?
The targets of this particular bylaw essentially are owners of residential buildings, also owners of industrial and commercial properties, and then of course owners of private and public office spaces. Now these people are expected to be in charge of cleaning the immediate land mass in front of their buildings, expected to procure and use also refuse bins, and indeed after collecting their waste, there are accredited waste collectors who are supposed to be coming around to collect them, and so they are only supposed to give their waste to these accredited waste collectors, Mama V.
And practically what happens when one is arrested?
Well, one has to flout this particular regulation before he or she can be arrested. We know that the city authorities are expected to, in the event that people default on the regulation, they're expected to collect the waste and then surcharge the offenders. And so the cost of collecting the waste will now be levied on the offenders. But specifically speaking to Section 8 of the bylaw, people who offend this particular law are liable to a summary conviction of between 100 and 250 penalty units, and also liable to a jail term of not less than 6 months and not more than 12 months, or a combination of both. And so these are essentially the lines of sanctioning that have been raised within this particular bylaw, Mama V.
Are there spot fines?
Well, the law does not mention spot fine exactly, but as it is, people who flout the law now will, as it will be, necessitates the workings of the city authority. So the city authorities are not supposed to be taking monies from anybody. When people offend the laws, they will go right in and then do the work. After that, they will surcharge the offenders.
Manuel Cranting, thank you very much. Let's cross over now. Our presidential affairs correspondent Elton Brobe is at the Independence Square and joins us with more on the story. Elton, what more are you picking up, from this bylaw in terms of when is it kicking in?
So Mama, this is the second day of the president's tour of the meeting. So the first port of call, we are currently at the Ghana Traditional Council, where the president is meeting the government chair and the chiefs that make up the council. And then from here, we'll move to the Black Star Square, where the Operation Clean Your Frontage will be launched. My information is that this is just, the launch will be just the first step towards a more broader initiative geared towards making Accra great again. And on Tuesday, there will be another launch, and this time is to ban bicycles, also known as Amoboya, from using the roads here in Greater Accra region, especially the inner roads. They'll be restricted to the outskirts, and that if you are found, riding the tricycle within the city of Greater Accra, you might be arrested and punished. And the Greater Accra Regional Minister has hinted that they are already discussing ways to ensure that they keep up with their economic activity, even though they may be restricted from using the business district and other designated areas. So that will come up on Tuesday. The launch for the cleaning your frontage, that one is coming up in the next hour. But currently, and then coming up for the first time, is a proposal that has been put before President Akufo-Addo by the government, Ni Tekichu II, who was inducted into the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs this week. He made an appeal to President Akufo-Addo to change the name Greater Accra Region to Ghana Region. This proposal has been put forth. President Akufo-Addo says that it is his responsibility to do so, and for that reason, they will consult, and if it is feasible, they will communicate their response to the Ghana Traditional Council. So that has been one of the main demands of the Traditional Council here. The meeting is still ongoing. There's also issues about chieftaincy issues within the traditional area. Even the position of Damanche for over 20 years has been a very contentious issue. It was just until this week that finality was brought to this matter. The government wants to collaborate with government to resolve all outstanding chieftaincy issues within the traditional authority. And government says that they'll be more than willing to lend a hand in bringing these chieftaincy issues to a halt. But their major demand is that the name Greater Accra Region is changed to Ghana Dangwe Region. That proposal, President Akufo-Addo says, will be considered, and if feasible, will report back to the chief.
It's interesting, Elton, they make this suggestion. What's the justification?
Well, the chief says that they want to identify more of the region. They have the view that Ghana Dangwe is more appropriate, and for that reason, if it is possible, the name Greater Accra is changed to Ghana Dangwe. That has been the justification. Beyond that, nothing more has been said. But President Akufo-Addo says that a change in the administrative capital will require some consultation and some steps. If it is feasible, then they will have to engage the chiefs more on the way forward on this.
Elton, we'll leave it here. Elton Brobe is our presidential affairs correspondent, following the president as he enters a second day of his tour of the Greater Accra region.